Hello, everybody, and welcome back to your favorite show, the Breaking Bitcoin Market Update, brought to you by KrakenCryptocurrency.com. My name is Justin Wise, lead analyst and senior mentor at KrakenCryptocurrency.com, and I hope everybody is having a wonderful day as the market recovers from yesterday's hot CPI print, 8.1, 0.6% actually. So yesterday in today's stream, I had said that we showcased a 1% month-over-month increase in inflation. It was actually 0.6%. I apologize for that. Sorry in the comments section if you guys were skewering me. Anyways, we've got a great show for you guys today. What we're going to be talking about today, and I think this is going to be helpful. I think I am going to go over a little bit of what we discussed. So we just finished a great premium mentoring session. So for those of you who don't know, once a week we meet in the premium Discord for all the premium members in the premium trading group, and we go over a concept or topic or an AMA, or we go over trades, or just a good opportunity for us to engage in the brotherhood of the premium trading group. And we just had a really good discussion on Bitcoin options we discussed for quite a while. And then we were wrapping up with a discussion of open interest. So if time allows, as we get closer to the end of the stream today, we'll probably do a little bit of education on open interest and how you guys can use it in your own trading. Other things that we're going to cover today are, of course, kind of the plummeting of LUNC and Luna. Hopefully the Ponzi is near to an end. If not, we're going to go over altcoins of interest, CKB, Raven, AKRO, Luna 2, and Convex. And of course, we're going to bring to you our patented Bitcoin analysis. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. We will be opening it up for chart requests during the second half of the show, assuming everything stays on schedule. And before we begin, of course, as always, we are very proud to host the fastest online growing community of serious crypto traders and investors. Make sure to join us in the free Discord to stay up to date long after the show is over at discord.krakencryptocurrency.com. As always, links are in the description to everything I will talk about today, as well as today's market analysis that has been posted to the website. If you guys are enjoying the content, the best way that you can show us support is by clicking the subscribe button. If you have not already, smash on the like button. All right, guys, let's get right into it. All right, so a little bit more negative than it was. Hold on a second. Let me just turn down my, yeah, there we go. That skin tone a little bit more natural. You know what I'm saying, guys? Okay, sorry about that. I'm okay with that. All right, so a little bit more negative price action than when we first posted the market analysis several hours ago. Obviously, Bitcoin and traders in general in the community just kind of recovering and reeling from the large 10% movement to the downside that we experienced yesterday, thrusting us back down to the current visible point of control, as Bitcoin is just now trading right at this consolidation period that we experienced right before this spring for those Wyckofians out there. And then this nice little sign of strength. Okay, so I'm a big fan of this. I do like this movement. I am overall of the opinion that this is a bit of a reactionary movement. And again, even though we are operating in a system or in an environment where we do have to have downside protection. So again, I want to be very clear about this. For you long-term investors out there, or for those of you who have been following for a while, while this is a very juicy spot for Bitcoin, and while it is possible that the bottom is in, again, if we look at this punctuated movement to the downside, I've often said that this area is giving me PTSD and reminders of November 2018. So just to scroll back, so you guys might have forgotten really what that looks like. We go back over here, we see something very similar. We were coming off an all-time high, and then we have this kind of prolonged bear market, just sideways chop and accumulation. And then price just goes absolutely flat and stagnant for a long period of time until November 14th, 2018, we break below support, and then we collapse all the way down to 3K where the actual bottom was. And while that is horrific and significant, everything is happening so much faster this market cycle. Okay, we're about 56 days into the point where long-term holders and short-term holders are both unprofitable. On average, once we've reached that metric, it's usually about 156 days before recovery. So we're only really about a little bit more than a third of the way there before we can be maybe considered to be, on average, historically out of the woods where we would be liking to see market recovery. Of course, none of our on-chain metrics have begun ticking up in a more significant way here. New addresses momentum, while it is looking positive and tracking up just a little bit, still we don't have any of the on-chain recovery signs that we want to see. So new addresses momentum is still down. Miner revenue from fees is still absolutely crushed. Our exchange flow multiple is still tracking to the downside, both inflows and outflows. So we would like for that to reverse and have a lot more trading activity. While the realized profit and loss of traders per market cap over the last 90 days, 90-day moving average is beginning to tick back up a little bit, indicating that potentially the bottom is in. or excuse me, that the worst of the loss is in. And while 7-day moving average, and this is an important one to track. Let's just see how much on average Bitcoin traders are losing with the 7-day moving average. Let's zoom in to just the last 2 weeks. And as of yesterday, Bitcoin traders were locking in an average of $187 million per day. So yeah, up a little bit. We were trending to the upside. And then of course, yesterday's movement plunging us back down into the negative. Yeah, adjusted ASOPR, or excuse me, adjusted SOPR, spend output profit ratio, still remains below 1. So on average, Bitcoin investors are underwater, of course. Not anything that we didn't know. The percent supply in profit is again near that historical low level. As we can see here, historically, when the percent of Bitcoin supply has dropped below 50%, i.e. more than 50% of all Bitcoin holders are now at a loss. Typically, when we get to this is indicative, we find this happen at the bottom of bear markets, and we are approaching that territory right now. Is another capitulation needed before that metric is fully locked in? Potentially. But as I shared in the premium mentoring session today, if we take a look at the new difficulty regression and balanced price model right here, trying to determine what the average or what the fair price or what the fair valuation of Bitcoin should be potentially. Again, we have both the all-in cost to produce a Bitcoin as well as Bitcoin's balanced price really converging and clocking in here around $17,000. So again, potentially all that's needed is maybe a final capitulation sell-off to 17K. We get everything tracking down. We have full capitulation, even some old coins moving around, which we actually saw 3 tranches of 5,000 Bitcoin each moved, locking in a total win, $187 million because that Bitcoin hadn't moved since 2013. So congratulations to that hodler. Should have sold at 68K. But yeah, we have the convergence here. Now, of course, if that price does not hold and we do enter something that we've never really entered before, of course, we're only down 72% from the high. All right. And so if the bottom is in, this would be the least catastrophic in terms of performance that Bitcoin would have ever put in a bottom. Previously, we experienced 77% is currently the record for the least destructive bear market as far as Bitcoin goes. So clocking in at 72%, if we have experienced the bottom or if we're very near to it, then this would be the best bear market in terms of performance. But in terms of financial savagery, in terms of how much money has actually been lost in nominal terms, this is the most destructive bear market we've ever seen because the market cap has never been higher than it's ever been before. So way more money has been lost in this bear market than has ever been lost before in Bitcoin's price history. So again, looking at our valuation model here, let's just pull up the last year. We can see that currently our delta price is coming in at about $13,406.40. So that is really that last bottom downside, completely back the truck up model. I am not at all. I've actually had a lot of charts shared with me over the last few weeks, looking at, like chart structures and things like this and patterns and whatnot. Looking for Bitcoin below 10K, and I don't see it. I'm an open mind as a trader, but I feel like if Bitcoin is below 10K, we have far worse problems on hand than Bitcoin being below 10K. Bitcoin really has become the global bellwether of global liquidity. And yeah, I'm just not realizing this. So we could go over all these metrics, but let's just get back to the charts and keep it moving. So again, not too much to point out here. RSI is back below 50, so in bearish territory, but we are tracking above the RSI moving average for now. And of course, we are at the point of control and we are at the support of this previous shelf of support. So this all remains hopeful. Again, the bulls want to believe here that this is just a reactionary move to the CPI print. And personally, I am of the overall opinion, and this is exactly what I wrote in my market analysis. Make sure you guys go check this out on the website, Crypto Traders in Recovery from yesterday's dive, where I point out here that stocks and crypto assets are still trading above their June lows. All right, this is very important to remember. Like with all this calamity and catastrophe that people are spewing out there on the internet just to get clicks, stocks and crypto assets are still trading above their June lows. All right, and most traditional assets are still up moderately. By moderately, I mean 10 to 20% from where they were before pandemic started. So obviously in this article, I'm referencing what we can expect from the Federal Reserve Bank. So while a market on the verge of collapse would likely cause the Fed to pause in their tightening actions, for now, the Fed is fully committed to do anything necessary to tame inflation. And that means for United States citizens out there like myself, stagflation or stagnation in risk markets, low employment, and general malaise are acceptable collateral damage to them. And this is just the environment that we're going to be in. All right. But while this is negative for the individual, and while this can be negative for the individual, people might be facing unemployment. Again, the Fed is not really concerned with employment right now. The Fed is not concerned with the stock market right now. The Fed is only concerned with inflation, right? Fed has two mandates: keep inflation low and keep people employed, keep unemployment low. And right now, they only care about the first mandate, taming inflation. But note, and this is what I wrote, in contrast to other nations like Europe, China, and Japan, the United States has also been being remarkably consistent and neutral with regards to printing their way out of the problem, right? So what we're seeing in China and Japan is the money printers being turned back on. Obviously, Europe is printing bonds like nobody's business. And although we commonly like to bash on the Fed here in crypto land, I do view this as a remarkable sign of strength and neutrality from the Fed. We do want a central bank that is immune and impervious from the influence of the ruling class, right? So although the world is not perfect, the Fed is maintaining its neutrality and not allowing itself to be controlled by the current politicians that are in control of policy, which is good. We want inflation tamed. That's the most important thing, okay? So the final point that I just kind of want to make here is that there are two main philosophies regarding where we're at in the markets: that peak inflation is behind us and that we are in and will be in a period of inflation and slow growth, i.e. stagflation. And due to this, the Fed will likely pause their tightening efforts soon, and the markets will respond positively. Now, when I say pause, I don't mean turn the money spigots back on. I mean pause quantitative tightening, not flip back on quantitative easing, but pause quantitative tightening, a true pause, right? But for sure, the Fed is committed to reducing their balance sheets for at least the next 6 months. They have the aspirations to reduce their balance sheets by $2 trillion over the next 12 months. So the other camp believes that this is only just the beginning, that the Fed's tightening will cause further market collapse, and that Peter Schiff has been right this whole time. So I ask you guys, what camp do you fall into? Do you believe that the worst is behind us and that while the future is not going to be great for a while, we see the light at the end of the tunnel? Or do you only see blackness? Personally, I see light at the end of the tunnel. All right. Okay, so overall, daily time frame analysis, nothing here. Nominal volume does remain consistently high. So again, nice juicy area of the market. This would be almost one of the most perfect support buys. And if we do bottom here and push up, we will have a higher high and a higher low, which is always the beginning of an uptrend. So good things to consider. However, overall, we are overall just still in a crab market. So I do recommend daily time frame trending strategies. Not going to work so well here. You need to go down to the 1 hour or the 4 hour chart for your general trending strategy. That's how you're going to find the trade. That's how you're going to be making money in this market right now. Or you need to be range trading, grid trading, looking for signs of exhaustion and reversal. This is how you need to operate in a crab market, right? Buy low, sell high. Because there's really no big breakout trends, right? There's really no big breakout trends. Okay. So now let's go and look at the price of Bitcoin through the lens of Pathways to Profit, which is our proprietary trading strategy. And we will be, of course, using our premium indicator suite, indicators available to all of our premium members. So let's just scroll in here and take a gander. Obviously, Bitcoin is below the daily baseline, so we do have to have an overall a bearish tint. But again, we're not looking for trending trades. And this is not arbitrary. What we do is we look at our moving averages, all right? So this is the CCEMA indicator, and this is actually available to all community members. You guys don't even got to join the Discord. Just go use this indicator, CCEMA. When our moving averages are a very useful tool for telling us, not just moving average crossovers, but they tell us what to kind of expect from the market, right? And what's going on an average basis. So as we can see here, our moving averages are getting, our fast moving averages are getting very tight and touching each other, okay? When this happens, if the market is moving sideways, it is just an indication of dropping volatility. This is your indication that you should not be really executing on a trending strategy right now, because you want your moving averages to be nice and wide apart, supportive of a strong trend, to be executing trending strategies. This is right now is indicative of a crab market, and you only need to look to slap some moving averages on the chart to identify that and confirm that and have an objective metric for what type of trading should you be doing right now. How should you be spending your time? How should you be allocating your capital? It should be in short-term plays, and it should not be looking for long-term trending positions right now. Minx has curled back down below the signal line, Parallax back below zero, and Wadatar is obviously printing negative delta here, but no rising explosion level. So again, no trending trades are being generated here. What our trading strategy is telling us is what most trading strategies won't tell you, is that right now we should just sit tight and await further direction, which is great. right? This is great. It's cool. Not going to lose money. Sometimes being flat is the best position to have. All right. We would need to see Bitcoin back above 22,000 to be on the verge of looking for a breakout to have the requirements fulfilled. But of course, we'll need more than that. So going down to the 4-hour time frame. Again, we did point this out. I did say this on yesterday's stream. We did cross and close below the daily between the 4-hour baseline here. And on this bar right here, we had all the signals. You could have potentially taken it on this trade, but as I've often advised to people, you typically don't want to enter into the dump direction after a big dump like this, right? Although there was a little bit of leg left in the trade right here, you could have easily entered here. So we have rising negative delta, rising explosion level below the baseline, moving averages pointing down, parallax below zero, Minx crossing below zero. All of these signs here. Now, why didn't we take a reversal trade? Justin, look, Minx is oversold. Parallax is oversold. Why didn't you pick a reversal long out of here? Well, you don't take a reversal long just because one of your momentum oscillators is oversold. At any time price has been rising and you have just a complete failure and huge dump like this, it's going to cause your momentum oscillators to make outsized calculations. So you always, after something like this, wait for an indicator reset. Okay. Which, how many bars need to go by for an indicator reset? Well, it depends on what your look back length is. Whatever your look back length is, that's how many bars need to pass before you look for another signal. So from this bar, we need 10 bars. So right here. Right here is when you can start looking for a trade. Okay, pretty simple. All right, let's go over and look at our lower time frame data here. Just give this a quick refresh on Coinalyze. All right, so this is pretty interesting, and this is exactly kind of the lesson that I was using for the premium members earlier. So open interest is a very valuable tool in determining, oh God, that's great. Yes. So open interest can be a very useful tool when we're trying to determine what the market bias is. So sharp drops in open interest often lead to reversals. So what do we see here? We see a downtrend, and then we see a sharp sell-off right here. And we see a swift drop in open interest. And what happens? The market reverses. Right? Market reverses. Let's look at open interest here. So overall, throughout this range, we have seen open interest dropping as prices dropping. Ever since about here, though, we can see a shift, and we can see open interest rising. We can see open interest rising. Now, open interest rising indicates that individuals are entering into positions in the direction, but a rise in open interest indicates that new positions are opening up. It does not give us directional bias. Doesn't tell us if they're longs or shorts. Cumulative volume delta does, however. So we need to combine these two aspects of analysis. Right around here, we see open interest begin to rise. So we can see that the market is continuing to move down, yet open interest is consistently rising. However, as we look down to cumulative volume delta to see who are putting on these positions, we can overwhelmingly see that it's shorts. Okay. So price action right now does not actually look very positive for Bitcoin. I would expect price to continue to trend lower until we see something different happen. We did see some liquidations come in right here on this movement to the downside, corresponding with a sharp drop in open interest. And we did get a bit of a reversal. And it's possible that this is going to be marking the local bottom. But funding is still positive. Okay, funding is still positive right now. Which means which means the majority of people are still in long positions and still accumulating long positions. So it's likely that we're going to have another shakeout where the price will move down until we've seen enough liquidations for price to move up. Is that going to be 17K? I don't know. Probably not immediately. But unfortunately, just in this current area, I wouldn't be taking any BTC long positions. And that's great because this just corresponds exactly to what PTP is telling us to do. And that's absolutely nothing. Take no position. Of course, there is, as we kind of pointed out here, and as you guys can see, there is some opportunity here for a 4-hour short. And if we are going to be losing this level of support right here, if we are going to continue to be trending lower, then we could potentially be looking for, and I would recommend a low risk short position here to try to take advantage of perhaps another forced movement to the downside here. So again, overall, I do have a variety of positions on right now. I have been accumulating, and this is not my main directional bias, but I talked about this yesterday. I did I haven't added to anything as of the last couple of days. But I have paid a relatively decent amount of premium for put protection to the downside. And again, I'm about 25% in spot Bitcoin long. So I've made 25% allocation to Bitcoin from my stablecoin conversion in this current price range. Just been DCAing generally. And so that's going to be for the long term. And this is my recommendation to Bitcoin holders and traders everywhere right now. If this area is juicy, might be the bottom, prices are pretty low, but I wouldn't recommend more than 25% allocation. And we're going to increase that allocation either as price moves down and we see signs of capitulation, or as we see on-chain signs of recovery and organic demand beginning to pick back up. This is likely going to coincide with price moving up, and that's fine. I would much rather buy into strength than try to buy the bottom and have the dip keep on dipping, right? Most traders are not successfully able to buy the bottom, even if they're professionals, right? I don't catch the bottom every time. I don't catch the top every time, and neither will you, right? Tempering expectations is a good thing. Okay, so 327, getting right in here. Things are going well. Brief reminder that if you guys are enjoying the content, make sure to slap that like button, hit the subscribe if you haven't already. And after today's show, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. We're going to take a brief moment here and read a few comments, and we'll look at the questions in the chat. Slide them back over here. If you guys want your comment read live on the air, make sure to leave a comment after the show. Crypto Bull 21. Yesterday, possible fake out on Reef, pointing to a timestamp here. GBU Wally said, how did you know it was my favorite show? Bob the Builder saying, each show is an absolute blessing. Thank you so much, man. Tom Hardy, yay, death threats are back. These post-chain shills need them more, to be honest. Quality stream as always. Keep killing it. Thank you so much, brother. And then, yeah, we've got a ton of post-chain spam. Yeah, just absolute overwhelming amount of post-chain spam in the comment section. So, all right, cool. Thank you guys so much for your comments. I appreciate that. And let's get back in. We're going to move to altcoins now. Well, how could we let today go with the merge coming in less than 24 hours without analyzing Ethereum? Like, how could we reasonably, would all the gods in the heavens would not forgive us if we did not look at Ethereum? All right. The silver of crypto, not Litecoin, Ethereum. Ethereum. Again, listen, Ethereum has done well, obviously rallying into the strength of the merge. We are putting in higher highs and higher lows. We'll see where we're at right now, but just overall consolidating around the baseline. No strong daily trend. Look how tight the moving averages are together. Again, no significant trend here. We need expansion of the moving averages to find good opportunistic trending trades. So on the daily time frame, looking at our pathways to profit trading strategy, nothing is being recommended here. Let's go down to the 4-hour time frame. Look for opportunities. Again, looking very much like Bitcoin here, putting a lot of wicks, showing seller absorption, but just so far a lack of demand, seeing price pushing off the bottom. All right. Minx is curling back up. WADA is tapering down its negative delta, and Paralox is beginning to trend back up. All good things. Our moving averages are still moving down and currently acting as resistance. So overall, a short bias on the 4-hour time frame, but no real initiation for a trade. You never really want to be shorting the bottom. So let's move to our LTF analysis of Ethereum and see what data we can suss out here. All right. Yeah. Unfortunately, here we see that open interest is pretty volatile. A lot of positions being put on and being closed out. Open interest is currently on the rise, but if we look at cumulative volume delta, it's just been in a marked decline, indicating that sellers are in control. We are plateauing here a little bit, so anything could happen, and funding has spiked very high. So this rise in open interest indicates that a lot of this rise in open interest with a falling cumulative volume delta and a huge spike in funding indicates that a lot of people are attempting to short this. This generally can be a good sign of a bottom to take a contrary position, but just with the overall malaise in the markets, I'm not really eager to jump into positions right now. Again, really trusting PTP on the daily time frame. Just sit tight, hold. Sit tight and hold. All right, overall mixed bag in the markets today. A few things up, some things down. Here's that big Luna and Loon C collapse that I was talking about, down 25.8% and 17.4% on the day. Of course, these have had a good run. Raven completely reversing around. So we took a big short on Raven a few days ago and had a great position. And then Raven pushing to the upside. We definitely are longing it. Celsius coming down a little bit, up almost 20% on the daily. Ethereum Classic continuing to push up, particularly as miners have signaled that they are going to be doing a controversial proof of work fork about 2,408 blocks after the merge is successful. So I think the price on that token shot up like 40% as soon as that was announced, because they've already launched the token apparently. But listen, they're gonna lose. Like, nobody uses Ethereum Classic, so tell me about it, man. Those moving averages are tight, super tight. Okay. Altcoins of interest today. Going to our scanner, we can see the kind of the most interesting altcoins today on Bybit's perpetual exchange, USDT anyways, is going to be CKB, Raven, AKRO, Luna 2, and CVX. Make sure you guys check my market analysis that I post on the website every day. I always post these every single day, as well as a detailed analysis of each of these individual coins. So let's start off with looking at CKB. CKB here is relatively interesting. Again, we can see a downtrend and what is now a long period of accumulation with a higher low off of the bottom here. Really big pump that we just pushed in, followed by an immediate sell-off. And what do I often say, guys? If you see price skyrocket and then dump immediately, there is usually going to be an aftershock pump. Whereas if you see price pump and then move sideways, it's all down from there, because if price pumps and then goes sideways, it's indicating that buyers are attempting to buy at those high prices and previous buyers are distributing all over their faces. All right. And once they're done distributing, price is going to come down. Price is going to come down in these market environments. When we're in roaring bull markets, well, then price will pump, move sideways, pump more, move sideways, pump more. And then you leverage your house, mortgage your house. Yeah. Refinance. Okay. 4-hour time frame on CKB. CKB here is relatively interesting. Again, we can see that initial pump, the pullback, and then that aftershock pump. So that's already happened. Price is now pulled back down to support. We're at the 4-hour baseline right here. Our moving averages are curling back down. So again, this could be, especially if the market does pick up here a little bit, this is looking like a nice support buy right here. Nice 200 period simple moving average, which was acting as resistance. Price is pushed above it, pulling back. We could logically expect to see a little bit of a bounce here. Let's go down to the 30-minute time frame and apply our day trading filters and see where the opportunity is. This is looking a little juicy. We're extremely oversold on the 30-minute time frame. We're trading below 2 standard deviations of the VWAP. The only thing that's kind of missing here is that we're not having a big explosion of nominal volume, and we haven't really seen a capitulation. A little bit of a stop loss on traders positioned right here. One key thing to note here is that here we can see the what I just described perfectly. Initial pump, and notice how it immediately sells off. And so there is going to be an aftershock pump. And then after the aftershock pump, here we have that aftershock pump, we have that distribution. Notice how the point of control of today's session forms right here in this distribution phase. So a lot of traders bought and sold right here. So because this has happened after the pump and the aftershock pump, I'm actually speculative that this is going to be able to have legs moving to the upside. I wouldn't rush into short this, especially at a low. But if we can see price move up here to the point of control and get rejected, it's going to be very difficult for price to break through this point of control. So if it does break through the point of control, that's extremely, extremely bullish, because it means there's a lot of organic demand for it. Unfortunately, what often happens here is that this acts as impassable resistance. So what I would do, potential trade idea here, set an alert for this area. And if price meanders back up here, potentially look to enter into a short position on CKB and ride the wave to the downside now that we've had the pump and the aftershock pump. Alternatively, if we end up breaking to the upside here, I would momentum long that baby, because that shows that we have passed through an unstoppable object, and the momentum is crazy. Now, looking at LTF data to zoom in and see if there is actually opportunity here. What do we see? Well, this is relatively interesting. Price is dropping as open interest is dropping, generally a bearish sign, and cumulative volume delta is stagnant and flat. So what this indicates is that people are buying and selling in equal divisions right now, but overall, the majority of traders are closing out their positions. So that organic demand is drying up and funding is still positive, meaning that a lot of bag holders are still holding long positions, potentially adding to their position. But again, more traders are closing out positions indicated by open interest dropping. And with open interest dropping while price is dropping and CVD being absolutely flat and stagnant, I don't really see any significant opportunity here moving forward. Again, maybe watch for a rush of long liquidations if we have a little bit of a capitulation, and then maybe we can see price rise to that point of control for today's session. But again, that is going to be very, very difficult to overcome, and this is looking like a pretty rough chart, guys. So not really seeing an opportunity here for CKB. Let's move on to the next. What was the next asset? Raven. All right, Raven, I think looks pretty good here. We are overbought on the daily time frame. That's okay. When things are pumping tremendously, we've just had a great run from Raven right here. And again, we did short yesterday and caught this movement, and then so I'm long on Raven. I'm just letting you guys know this. I took a long. I'm in profit on the long. Raven's been a pretty good performing asset. And when things are moving, go for it, bro. Let's look through the lens of pathways to profit and see what we got going on here. Yeah, again. Very nice trend. Our moving averages are very wide apart. We are pretty overextended from the daily baseline. So I would, of course, not be looking to take any swing long positions here. Just intraday breakout positions right now. But all of our metrics are very positive. We are getting a little bit of divergence from Minx and Parallax. But so far, yeah, actually, we're going to have regular bearish divergence. Look at this. Higher high, higher low on both Minx and Parallax. Now, is it going to play out yet? I'm not sure. But again, this is why we're not going to be looking for daily time frame swing longs. This is the worst mistake you could make right here. If you didn't position, look at this beautiful signal from PTP. Look at this. Break above the daily baseline, rising explosion level, positive delta, Minx above zero, Parallax above zero, given the buy signal right here, and just absolutely beautiful. Off to the races we go. That's what we're looking for. That is the pathways to profit trading strategy right there. Hold on just a second, guys. I apologize. Do a little brief ad while I take this phone call. Can't catch a break over on BitMEX with all the wicks? Try a better alternative at buybit.crackingcryptocurrency.com and rest easy for a change. Okay. Ooh, we're not doing Ethereum right now. We're doing altcoins. Ooh. That gets me every time, by the way. A classic. All right. Okay, so down to the 30-minute time frame, looking for opportunity here. All right, yeah, so this is kind of indicative right now. I might actually be looking to take profits on my position right here. We just had the sell signal come in from time transformation, getting a little bit of divergence as our time transformation begins to move down. And right now we are forming a distribution zone right here underneath today's point of control. All right. So the most volume has been transacted here. This means people buying the top and selling the top. All right. So again, very difficult to get over this once this forms. And if we are successfully able to break out above this, that's the signal I'm going to be watching. In fact, I'm going to take action on this right now. Boom. Done. I was able to close with a little bit of profit there because I entered right around here. And so I'll just wait for the next breakout signal to see price break above here. Otherwise, I'm going to consider entering into a short position on this, depending on the way the rest of the market moves for the day. Okay. On to, and do we have any confirmation here from our LTF analysis? So interestingly enough here, open interest has skyrocketed, continuing to rise. But as we can see here, cumulative volume delta has really gone flat, all right, indicating that buyers are no longer in control. And funding is negative, which means that the majority of traders are putting on short positions. So this is why, sorry, let's see that. This is why that breakout trade is so juicy and why, looking for longs overall here in this range is not attractive to me. What I want to see is I want to see price break above this level with all the shorts in, with the rise in open interest, because then we're going to be set up for a short squeeze. And then you just market enter, ride the wave up, exit. One of the easiest ways to make money in crypto. Okay. Doing good. Final. Fin. Lavita. Is AKRO, USDT. All right. AKRO USDT. Again, we've been in a little bit of a marked downtrend. Moving average is still, for the most part, moving to the downside. A little bit of sideways accumulation here and getting some tentative pumps to the upside here. Still underneath the 55 exponential moving average and our 60 period Hall baseline, acting as resistance right now. We are attempting to flip into a positive area right here with Minx and Paralox and Wadatar being in the trend of the upside, but still below the daily baseline and still experiencing this as resistance. However, this is looking like a constructive chart on this higher time frame. This does look relatively good. But again, look at kind of the choppy price action we've had from AKRO in the past. No real trends here. Like, obviously there's a trend here, but overall there's just these very quick punctuated moments. This is a few entity controlled market if I have ever seen one. I do see the live chat, Zan. All right. Yeah, AKRO's a little interesting here, at least on the 30-minute time frame. But again, here's that same thing that I pointed out here. Price moving sideways, pump, immediate sell-off, aftershock pump, and then distribution forming an impassable barrier. That's coming in at not 4278. So again, if we can break 4278, probably looking for a nice breakout trade to the upside. And then it's going to start to look like we're looking at a daily time frame breakout swing long per PTP. But even with this time transformation buy signal down between 1 and 2 standard deviations on VWAP, I'm good, man. I'm good. Let's go and look at AKRO. Yeah, same thing here on AKRO. We can see price move sideways. Open interest is stagnant. Cumulative volume deltas become stagnant. And funding is still positive, meaning there's lots of longs trapped. So to the downside, guys. Okay, now we got 15 minutes left in the show, guys. I will be happy to open it up for Ask Me Anything. Feel free to ask me any questions that you have. I'll be going through the live chat and answering your guys' questions. And then taking any chart requests you guys might have. So get them in, guys. Get them in, get them in, get them in. Okay. GBU Wally, by the way, massive shout out, has been a member of the YouTube channel for 26 months. 26 months. We love you, bro. Kenneth Burmeister saying, yay, finally caught a live during some movements. Caught most of that move down just now, looking to add to his short position on BTC. Sounds good. Tom Hardy, peace to you, brother. Alex81SG, Chemo Zabi saying, light at the end of the tunnel for the United States. Europe, not so much. Zan, am I long? I do have a perpetual long position open on Bitcoin. I have a 25% allocation of my spot holdings to Bitcoin. Let me rephrase that. That sounded wrong. Of the capital that I want, of the allocation to Bitcoin that I have in my portfolio, or that I want of Bitcoin in my portfolio, I have invested 25% of my stable coins back into Bitcoin. Only 25%. I will be purchasing the other 75% at lower or higher prices depending on market recovery, as I went over earlier. I also have quite a hefty. I also have accumulated quite a few option put contracts for downside protection as well. So. Alex81 says, if it wasn't for the macro, I think the bottom is in, but it is going to take quantitative easing to reignite a bull market, in my opinion, not just to stop to the interest rate increases. You're saying we can't do it on our own? We need the helicopter cash from the Fed? How dare you? I think you might be right. Alex Pearson clearly does not understand how the caps lock key works, but hey guys, what's going on, brother? Alex81SG, how do I interpret the Bitcoin dominance? I was surprised to see it dropping yesterday during the dump. Most BTC pairs were actually green and still are. Yeah, so it's actually kind of an interesting phenomenon that we're experiencing with Bitcoin dominance and a significant decline. Some market commentators are pointing this to the fact that Bitcoin is losing its luster as the king of cryptocurrencies, something that would have been considered unthinkable in years past. But, you know, with Ethereum and DeFi and Bitcoin largely taking a backseat to that, you know, again, there is a strong argument out there that Bitcoin is kind of losing its investor appeal. Now, obviously, as a long-term Bitcoiner and somebody who wants to make the world a better place, Bitcoin's the chain, baby. But yeah, you know, like we go through good times and bad times. It's possible that Bitcoin gets dethroned as king, right? That doesn't mean that Bitcoin is still the wrong choice as far as decentralization and making the world a better place and having a sound sound monetary system. But yeah. Pulse Chain Poppy, what's going on, brother? Jordan Stotts, shout outs to you. Zan is asking what indicator that I use. Quite a few. If you're talking about this one, this is time transformation. This is my modification of the Fisher transform, is the algorithm that it's based on, but I've made a bunch of modifications. It is one of my personal trading tools, and it is available to all the premium trading members. XHV Swing Trade Pro says hash rate ripping. So we've got a request for XHV. I think Haven. Is that Haven? I think that's Haven. I wasn't going to say anything, GBU Wally, but stellar point, my friend. Yeah, Haven Protocol. What up, KuCoin? It's been a while since the last we talked. We're going to go ahead and take the 200 small off, so it's not scrunching the screen so much. We're going to go ahead and take the 100 small off as well. Wait a second. This should be small. All right, what do we like about Haven here? It's not threatening. It's not threatening. Definitely don't feel scared. Look at this chart. So that's a good thing. All right, a lot of sideways accumulation. Again, we will often see this prior to a pump. We will also often see this when a coin enters into zombie mode. We'll dig deeper into this. So currently Haven has been consolidating underneath the 55 exponential moving average and the 60 period Hall moving average daily baseline that we utilize. So no positive strength momentum coming out of here yet. Overall, we can see that volatility has been in a significant decline and that all our metrics are currently bearish. We've had a couple of rallies here, rejection from the 55, rejection from the 55, rejection from the 55. We are forming a pretty strong support here at around about 4.8. We'll just call it 48 cents. So yeah, all eyes on the breakout above 60 cents. So, you know, all eyes are on a 20% movement to the upside, and we might be getting a lot more. The market conditions have to be right though. But, you know, I don't hate this. If you know some fundamentals or catalysts for Haven coming up in the future, definitely a nice cheap price, good risk reward. Just if we lose this shelf, drop your position. Who cares? And yeah. From a chart perspective, this does look like a cheap price. I don't see any kind of significant bullishness about this, except for the fact that we are holding this low and that we've gone and taken a couple stabs at our resistance level, but not looking terrible. Moving averages are flat, indicating crab market environment. So Wouldn't be looking for any kind of trending positions out of here. Essentially, you'd just be buying and holding. And I would, of course, do spot. I would not be using leverage with something like this. Just, if you're interested, if you think Haven is going to go up and you think this is a rock bottom price, make an allocation in your portfolio, pick it up spot, move it to cold storage, and don't think about it for 6 months. Probably 12 months. Let's drill down a little further. This is kind of interesting. 4-hour time frame. We put in this double top, hold back at support. Are we going to reject or not from the daily baseline? I would be taking a continuation short from here until we get a breakout above 52.37. Then I'd probably be looking to take this back down to the downside. Let's see if that 30 is any more constructive here. Actually, the 30-minute is very constructive here. So look at this strong point of control that we formed over the last 2 trading sessions down here at 50 cents. Very interesting and big explosions in nominal volume here. Overall, pretty juicy, man. Now price is coming back down to that support level. This is actually, wow, this actually is looking pretty good, man. Yeah, as long as 50 cents holds, I mean, I feel like you almost have to buy this. Just for the day swing to the upside. Yeah, if we lose that though, momentum short. Lose that 50 cents momentum short. Let's see what I don't think we're gonna be able to pull this up on. Yeah. We can't look at that data. Let's see if we can get some data on sentiment. Oh. Hold on a second, guys. Did I get logged out? Yeah, apparently I got logged out. Give me a sec. In just a moment. How's everybody doing? It's not right. Sorry, guys. Having a little bit of a difficulty getting logged in here. There we go. And there you have it. Boom. Okie dokie. Aha. Okay, so unfortunately, sentiment is not tracking on-chain metrics for Haven Protocol. So we can't really see if there's been a huge surge in demand. We can just see, let's look at the last month. Yeah, I would not say overall a huge surge in demand on these lows, but certainly people are buying the dips. GB Wally says, I can't wait for the next 26 months. Hell yeah. When should I plant my garlic in zone 4A? That's a great question. Usually I plant my garlic pretty early in the year, actually. All right. And I just harvest it later. You can actually plant garlic multiple times. Boom. Always consult your farmer's almanac. It's kind of your best resource here. All right, 4 minutes left, guys. Zan says, what is options and how do you protect yourself with it? I don't know how it works. Talk to me like a guy who knows nothing about options. Sure. An options contract gives you the right, but not the obligation, to buy a certain asset on a certain date for a certain price. So you and I could enter into an agreement where you say, I will allow you to buy 1 Bitcoin from me, Justin, but you have to tell me what price and when. So maybe, let's say Bitcoin's price is at, well, let's just look at the chart of Bitcoin right now. Okay, so Bitcoin's price is currently, actually clean this all up so make this very easy to understand. Okay. Let's say Bitcoin's price is currently about 20,000. And I'm concerned that if I buy a Bitcoin right now, if I buy a Bitcoin right here at this price might significantly move down, and I don't want to suffer that loss. So I say to you, well, I'll tell you what. I would like the right to buy a Bitcoin right now at 20,000, but I want the ability to buy at 20,000 in December. I would like to be able to buy Bitcoin for 20,000 in December. That way, if I'm right that this is the bottom and price moves up, when price is at 35,000 in December, I could lock in our contract, buy that Bitcoin for 20,000 in December, and then immediately sell it for profit. And if I was wrong and Bitcoin plummets, well, I don't have to buy the Bitcoin for 20,000. I just pay you the small fee for giving me the option to buy the Bitcoin from you. And then I move on with my life. It's called premium. So, wow, I think that might have been one of the best ways I've ever heard options explained. Obviously, I could have done it a lot better, but so yeah, you can buy, so I just explained a call, but you can do the opposite. You can buy a put, which if I have a Bitcoin and I think price is going to tank, I should probably sell it right now. But what if price goes up? I don't want to sell it here. So in that case, I would buy a put, which gives me the right to sell, not the obligation, but the right. And I want to sell at 20,000 right now. So I'll buy a put for $20,000. And if price goes up, I just pay you the premium, you who agreed to buy from me for 20,000 in December. But if price goes down, then yeah, I'm going to exercise my right to sell $20,000 Bitcoin to you when Bitcoin's down here at $4,000. So options are very useful. They are certainly the most degenerate way to make money in the traditional markets, and they are entering the most degenerate space of all cryptocurrency. There's still a lot of work to be done to make options markets as robust as they are in traditional finance. But we've come a long way in the last couple of years, so particularly in the last 6 months. So, all right, and with that explanation, it's time to head for the door. Thank you guys so much coming over here for the outro. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me for yet another episode of Breaking Bitcoin Market Update. As always, we laughed, we cried, we longed, we shorted, parting as such tweets are. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, sarcastic remarks, hot stock tips, or death threats, feel free to leave them in the comment section after the show, and I, of course, will read them live on stream, particularly the death threat ones, and maybe not the hot stock tip ones if they're really, really juicy. But as always, guys, if you're interested in improving your trading skills, consider joining the Premium Trading Group. Links to that are in the description down below. Make sure to check out some of our testimonials. If you would like to support the show, no better way to do that than smashing the like button and subscribing, and of course, leave your comment down below. It really helps out the YouTube algo. And I'd like to know what your guys' thoughts and opinions are. Question of the day. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that peak inflation is behind us? And while we are going to be moving into an environment of stagflation, kind of stagnant growth and all that stuff, overall, we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Or has Peter Schiff been right all this time and an imminent collapse is upon us? Let me know down in the comments. We will be back tomorrow. Same crypto nation, same crypto time, same crypto station. Trade safely, guys. Emotional discipline, risk management, hug the ones you love. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.